How does this North Carolina coal-fired power station relate to this place? Apple's New York flagship store 600 miles away. The iCloud.
Take a picture here.
Apple's new way to manage your digital toys.
Shows up there.
And your increasing thirst for data. When you upload and share photos, download music, or stream movies, that's an awful lot of data. And all of that data has to live somewhere. For Apple, that's here, outside Maiden, North Carolina, in this sprawling billion-dollar facility that's still under construction, full of state-of-the-art computers. But to deliver you the computing services of the future, Apple needs a lot of electricity, enough to power 80,000 US homes. And in North Carolina, most of that comes from coal. Just as campaigners scrutinize labor issues at Apple supplier Foxconn, a new GreenPeace report sheds light on Duke Energy, which powers the iCloud.
I know technology is cool and people love their iPhones and iPads, but unless those things are powered with clean, renewable electricity, they're going to cause a big problem for places like North Carolina.
Apple's data center is powered by coal stations like this one, run by Duke Energy. In North Carolina, 60% of Duke's power comes from coal.
And that is just terrible. I'm Beth Henry. I got involved primarily because of climate change and wanting to shut down old coal plants and stop Duke from building a new coal plant. But of course, we're not counting the real cost. That gets externalized onto the people of North Carolina with our air pollution, the people of the world with climate change.
We've come across the road to this empty block here, which will soon be filled with solar panels. Apple hopes to provide 10% of its power for the facility across the road from these solar panels. And the company calls this 100-acre facility the largest privately owned solar array in the country. Apple says its data center is leading the pack. GreenPeace says otherwise. Facebook and Google both outscore Apple on renewables. While these guys are protesting big power factories like this one, if you take a walk down the main street of Maiden, the talk of the town is all about Apple bringing economic prosperity.
Anytime you get someone like Apple coming to town, it's got to be good.
I don't see any problem with it.
It's new investment, new excitement.
Hopefully, Apple will bring more jobs into the town.
They'll be a good corporate citizen.
Maiden used to be a thriving little town, and I would like to see that again.
Certainly people are going to criticize the world's largest tech company. I mean, jump on the bandwagon. Lots of people will do that.
Scott Millar helped engineer the data center deals. He says the area's historical textile industry paved the way for cheap, reliable electricity.
The strength of our grid and the cost of our power is what's driving the data center industry to look at North Carolina to begin with.
Duke Energy supplies electricity to industrial customers in North Carolina at a rate 2/3 the national average. Local tax incentives sweeten the deal.
Just like you buying a car, chances are you're going to shop around and look for the best deal for the purchase of that car. And these companies are no different. Having these companies come in and take a part of our economy is richly rewarding.
Make a change on this?
As more and more of your information enters the cloud, data centers are the factories of the future, popping up right around the country. Towns like Maiden are betting on the bigger picture, not just Apple.
You're going to use more data, and we're betting on that future.
GreenPeace hopes that young consumers like Emily and Rachel will start demanding their digital futures not be weighted down by coal.
So if it came down to it, I think I could go without.
Yeah, definitely.
Apple technology. I don't need it.
Really?
If it came down to that, like a moral thing, it's either they're not going to stop or we're not going to stop.
I know companies like Apple care about their green credentials. So I'm hoping Apple and these other IT companies will help us push Duke Energy to change its generation mix to bring in a lot more renewables and energy efficiency.